Great. Mike, would you mind just reading the very beginning or just giving a quick summary on this resolution, please?
Absolutely. So Port Chicago is located over at Concord, right on the waterfront, very important strategic military location for transport of munitions. And this tragedy occurred in July of 1944, and it was bad enough that it basically, the explosion resulted in loss of life of 320 naval personnel, 200 of which were black enlisted men. But what made this tragedy even worse was that that afterwards, within just a matter of a few weeks, the Navy tried to force the men that did survive to go back to work, and they refused due to obvious unsafe conditions. And basically they were charged with mutiny and court-martialed. Many of them went to jail for many years, even though when they were released, they were never fully exonerated. And really that's at the heart of what this action is. After all these years, their good names have not been cleared. And just to think that, this is in 1944, less than 100 years ago, that something like this could even happen. It's kind of crazy to even think about today with all the safeguards and protections and, the Cal OSHA and things like that we have for workplace safety. So just the tragedy of this was really twofold. It wasn't, just the explosion and the massive loss of life and devastation of that, but it's the injustice that occurred thereafter for those men that were lucky enough to survive that refused to work and were punished for it. So that's really at the heart of this and what we're trying to bring to light and bring to justice now, along with many others.
Thank you. All right, I'll bring this back to council for a motion, please.
Before, it was a horrific explosion. It broke glass in Martinez. And we're talking something on the other side of the refinery, Marathon Refinery. That's far away. But the staff report that Michael just had prepared and read from, I just want to also thank and tie this in an obscure but meaningful way. Those men died as all men and women in the military died, so we could sit here and have meetings and discuss these things. And Mike just read from a staff report, and we just had approved basically 23 items, most of which have a staff report of 1 to 3, 4 pages that people spend a lot of time and a lot of effort for the public to understand. And one caller who just said, he doesn't have it in front of him, but a lot of time is spent on these consent calendar preparations that we at the council go, yeah, yes, no, in a matter of seconds. So I do want to thank the people who've died for us having these meetings, to be able to have these meetings, the people who prepare these meetings with voluminous staff reports that never get read and never get acknowledged. So thank you. And with that, I'll let Mr. Molly make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt a resolution supporting the local, state, and federal efforts to exonerate the Port Chicago 50.
Please vote.
Motion passes. All ayes.